Your mind is bending the fabric of reality. What if the world you see around you, that chair you're sitting in, the screen you're staring at, isn't nearly as solid as you think? What if it's all just a shimmering sea of possibilities, waiting for a nudge? It sounds like fiction, but science has stumbled upon a deeply bizarre secret, one that mystics have whispered about for centuries. The simple act of measuring something can physically change it. This isn't a fantasy. It's a property of our universe called the observer effect. And while it doesn't mean your thoughts can magically rewrite the laws of physics, it does point to a wild conclusion. The relationship between your mind and your reality is far more powerful and participatory than you've ever been told. Section 1. The unseen world of quantum strangeness. To understand how this is even possible, we need to shrink down, way down, past the familiar world of molecules and atoms and into the bizarre, almost magical realm of quantum physics. Down here, the solid, predictable rules of our everyday world just completely fall apart. You don't find definite objects, but a shimmering, uncertain landscape of pure potential. Particles like electrons don't have one fixed location. Instead, they exist in what's called a superposition, a ghostly state of being in many places at once, like a wave of all possibilities. Think of it like a spinning coin. While it's in the air, it's not heads or tails. It's a blur of both at the same time. It's only when it lands, when it's measured, that it collapses into a single, definite state. The quantum world is like a universe of endlessly spinning coins, and this was seen as just a weird mathematical quirk for a long time. It helped scientists make incredibly accurate predictions, but it didn't seem to connect to our solid, stable reality. But one elegant, mind-bending experiment would soon challenge everything we thought we knew about the line between observing and creating. Section 2. The ultimate proof. The double-slit experiment. It's called the double-slit experiment, and it's the foundation for almost every wild claim about consciousness and reality. The setup is simple. Imagine a barrier with two skinny slits in it. On one side, a machine fires tiny particles, like electrons, one by one. On the other side, a detector screen records where each one lands. If you close one slit and fire the electrons, they act just as you'd expect. They zip through the open slit and hit the screen, forming a single band, like you're shooting tiny paintballs through a stencil. Do the same with the other slit, and you get another single band. Easy enough, right? But here's where reality takes a sharp left turn. When you open both slits and fire the electrons one at a time, you don't get two simple bands. Instead, a totally different pattern emerges, an interference pattern, a series of many stripes. This is the classic signature of a wave. It's what you'd see if water waves passed through both slits, interfering with each other to create peaks and troughs. This means each electron, traveling all by itself, somehow passed through both slits at the same time like a wave and interfered with itself. It existed as a wave of possibility, a superposition, until it hit the screen. The physicists who first saw this were baffled. Their logical next step was to try and see which slit the electron was really going through. So they placed a tiny detector right by the slits, a sort of microscopic camera designed to watch which path each electron took. The moment they did that, the moment they measured it, everything changed. The interference pattern vanished instantly. The electrons stopped acting like waves and went back to being well-behaved little particles, creating just two bands on the screen. The simple act of measurement, of gaining the which-way information, collapsed the wave of possibilities into a single concrete reality. This is the observer effect in its purest, most startling form. Section 3. The Bridge to Consciousness. What is an observer? This experiment forces a profound question. What exactly is an observer? Is it the physical detector? Or could it be something more? This question haunted the founders of quantum mechanics. Pioneers like John von Neumann and Eugene Wigner started to wonder if the collapse of the wave was truly completed at the detector. This led to what's known as the von Neumann-Wigner interpretation, which controversially suggested that consciousness itself is the special ingredient. In this view, the universe remains a sea of quantum possibilities until a conscious mind observes it, forcing it to snap into a real state. The legendary physicist John Archibald Wheeler pushed this even further with his concept of a participatory universe. Wheeler argued we aren't just passive bystanders looking at a pre-existing cosmos. Instead, he claimed we are active participants who help bring the universe into being through our acts of observation. He compared it to a game of 20 questions, where the answers aren't based on a pre-decided object, but are constructed on the fly. The questions we ask of the universe, the measurements we make, literally shape the reality we find. This mind-bending idea suggests the observer is an agent of creation. Section 4. A dose of scientific reality, the great debate. Now, before we get carried away, it's incredibly important to state that the idea of a conscious mind being necessary for quantum collapse is a highly speculative and minority view in physics today. It's a fascinating philosophical lens, but it's not the scientific consensus. The mainstream scientific explanation for the observer effect is a process called decoherence. This theory says a quantum system doesn't need a conscious mind to collapse its wave-like state. It just needs to interact with its environment in any way. A detector, a particle of air, a stray photon, any interaction that records information about the particle's state is enough to destroy its delicate superposition and lock it into a single state. In this view, an observer is just shorthand for any measurement apparatus. A conscious being is not required. So, is the idea of consciousness creating reality dead? Not exactly. The measurement problem, why measurement causes this collapse, is still one of the deepest puzzles in science. Decoherence explains the mechanism of how the wave-like behavior disappears. But the deeper philosophical questions remain, fueling one of the most exciting debates of our time. Section 5. The echoes of mind in our world. Even if consciousness doesn't directly collapse quantum waves, the principle that focus changes reality echoes throughout our lives in ways we're only just beginning to understand. The observer effect serves as a powerful metaphor for the undeniable influence of our own minds. Take the placebo effect. A patient who is given a sugar pill but believes it's a powerful medicine can experience real, measurable physiological changes. Their belief, their conscious focus on getting better, can trigger the release of natural painkillers like endorphins and other neurochemicals that influence the body's systems. Is this quantum mechanics? No, there's no scientific evidence for that. But it is a stunning example of the mind influencing physical matter. Or think about neuroplasticity. For a long time, the brain was seen as a static organ. We now know that's completely false. The brain is constantly rewiring itself based on our thoughts, habits, and what we pay attention to. When you learn a new skill or practice a new way of thinking, you are physically changing the structure of your brain. Your focused attention is literally sculpting your personal reality from the inside out. Ancient traditions have talked about this for millennia. The idea that where attention goes, energy flows isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a practical description of how we create our experience. By choosing where you place your focus, you choose which reality to amplify. When you're consumed by a problem, you give it energy, and it looms larger. When you focus on a solution or a possibility, you give that energy. You start noticing opportunities and pathways that were invisible before. Section 6. You are the co-creator. So what does all this mean for you? It means you're far more powerful than you might think. The universe, whether at the quantum level or the psychological one, isn't a fixed stage where you're just an actor reading a script. It's a dynamic, participatory reality. The world isn't just out there. It's co-created by the lens through which you view it. Your consciousness, your attention, and your beliefs aren't just passive filters. They are active brushes, painting your experience of reality moment by moment. This isn't a call to believe you can change traffic lights just by staring at them. It's a call to recognize the immense power you hold over your own subjective world. The circumstances of your life might seem solid and unchangeable, but your experience of those circumstances is absolutely malleable. You have a choice. You can live as a passive victim of a world that happens to you, or you can step into the role of a conscious participant who shapes their reality through intention and focus. You are, in a very real sense, a co-creator of your universe. You are the observer at the center of your existence, and with every thought, with every moment of focused attention, you are bending the fabric of your personal reality. The greatest secret of the universe isn't hidden in some far-off galaxy. It's looking out through your own eyes. The nature of consciousness remains one of the greatest mysteries. What do you believe it is? A byproduct of the brain, or something more fundamental? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video expanded your mind, please give it a like and subscribe for more journeys into the nature of reality. From the bizarre dance of quantum particles to the proven power of our own minds, a consistent message emerges. We are not separate from the world we observe. We are tangled up with it, influencing it, and being influenced by it in a constant, dynamic feedback loop. Whether through the speculative lens of early quantum philosophy or the tangible reality of neuroscience, it's clear that our inner world has a profound effect on our outer world. The universe is not just something you are in, it is something you are doing. And the moment you truly grasp this is the moment you begin to consciously create the life you were meant to live.